Why hello everybody, Spencer here, also known as Lego Dude 11, and in today's video, this is a new review out on the channel. I'm so pumped. This is for Gen V. Spoiler review. So without further ado, let's discuss. Okay, so I said without further ado, today's is I'm so pumped because I have to get out of my gut, my face, my mouth that there's so much good stuff on TV right now. I have my listen notes over here on my computer, and Gen V's pulled up there, back there, and it's like, oh, it's so good. There's so much good stuff on TV. We had not Secret Invasion, that was not good. We had Ahsoka, then we had The Continental, and then we had Gen V, we have Rick and Morty, we have Loki Season 2, and now we have Invincible. Oh, this is such a good time. Invincible Season 2, we have such good stuff. So, today I'm bringing you Gen V spoiler review. So what did I think of this? This is, if you don't know what Gen V is, this is the spin-off to The Boys. And I'm kind of a mixed fan of The Boys. And I know some of you watching this, if you don't know, I've never reviewed The Boys here on the channel, talked about it in my podcast or anything like that. But this is, The Boys, it's a mature show, right? I'm going to get to more of that in later in this review. But this is a mature show, like Rick and Morty, and I've talked about other mature things here. But I've never reviewed, again, like I said, I haven't reviewed The Boys, so, and I'm a mixed fan on that, because I binged watched that during COVID, or, no, it was earlier this year, it was earlier in this summer, I binged watched The Boys, when I heard about this show coming out. I was like, okay, I'll watch it. So I liked it. I don't dislike it. It's just not in my top 10 shows of all time. It may or may not be in my top 10 shows of all time. I have to remake the list, and I don't know where it winds up. Somewhere in the top 20, though, top 15. It's like slightly under my top 10. And some people might think, oh, he thinks it's bad. No, I don't think it's bad. But, so I was just skeptical for this series. This series really, like, took the cake for me over The Boys. Like, I don't know. I like the teen element of it, maybe. Some people can kind of compare, like, made the comparison. It's like a CW, like, Riverdale version of The Boys. Not in a bad way, though. So, the score is done by Christopher Lenitz and Matt Bowen, I think. I didn't put that down, but Matt Bowen, I think, also did it. Maybe it's his name. And I like the music in this. I think it really brings a gravitas. I think it may be the same people that did The Boys, that scored The Boys, but I'm not quite sure. So, the music's good in it. The story is very, like The Boys, it's very mature, has mature violence. So if you're not into that type of thing, you do not want to watch this show. But I definitely recommend, I right off the bat, I'm saying I recommend it, without giving my final score, without giving my final rating. But the story, it kicks off, man. Clancy Brown is in this show, and I love the guy. And I was really hoping for more of a role, but he has such a quick and abrupt role at the end. Again, this is a spoiler review, so I'm going to be getting into spoilers here. He has an abrupt role. He dies right off the... Not right off the bat. He dies at the end of the first episode. I believe it's the first episode. It's the end of the first episode. Man, the first episode was long. Like, they get shorter as they go. And I have a theory, because the first 3 episodes released at once, and I think that was a great strategy. And they get shorter as they go, and I think that might be just due to how long the production was. Like, hey, we want to shoot this many hours of footage. And it was like, okay, great. So the episodes got shorter. Like, I wish it would be, like, the same amount of runtime, like an hour each. Like, because it kind of... Like, House of the Dragon was the same amount of runtime. Well, I guess... I don't know. So, anyway, I digress. But this had a great story. So, Clancy Brown's character dies at the beginning by Arnold Schwarzenegger's son's character, Golden Boy. And they... Basically, if you don't know, the Seven is, like, the boys' universe of Justice League. And Golden Boy, there's these teenagers in this university called the Godolkin, and they're trying to get into the Seven. And this guy, Golden Boy, named Luke, he has a brother, is it Luke? named Sam who's in the woods, and this is like an experiment where they're doing a lab where they're doing experiments on people and on different superheroes. So Sam's in there. His brother Golden Boy dies by he kills Clancy Brown's character named Vought, I believe, and then he dies, or he goes off in a fight, explodes himself into a big explosion of fire. So it's very, very graphic. There's a lot of graphic stuff in the show. There's a big fight of puppets, and there's this main character, Marie, who has blood out of her hands. You can control blood by actually cutting things and other blood and so forth. It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing. This show got me hooked within the first 15 seconds, first minute. It's incredible. And I was not ready for it, because if you watch The Boys, you're not ready for The Boys either. But when you watch this series, because like I said, I think I have more an appreciation for the show with the teen elements and the college environment. Watching The Boys is not bad. There's cameos in the show. I'm going to mention this in a second here, and a little bit later. But I love the elements. This show got me hooked. And maybe I have to go rewatch The Boys to be more intrigued by it after watching this show. But I'm just man, this show got me hooked. And I wonder if this was because it was on a week-to-week basis. Well, actually, the first 3 episodes were on a week-to-week. But if it was because I did watch after the first 3, if it was on a week-to-week. If it was, since I binge-watched The Boys, I don't know what it was. I don't know. I feel like I'm not, because I don't feel like I'm The Boysed out. I'm Boysed out. I have, Gen V, and that was fine. I don't think the title change meant anything, because there were cameos from The Boys in this, which I'll get to in a minute. But it's just, I don't know what it was. But yeah, the characters were great. Like I mentioned, there's this Marie, the blood controlling character. There's Andre, who I believe he could control stuff, manipulation. Kind of like Ebony Maw in Infinity War and Endgame, where he could move stuff around. And then there was Emma, who was the Shrinkster, or the Shrinkster, the Atom, Ant-Man type character, which is a really new character, because if you remember The Boys Season 3 with the Grower, that character, he just could go on his own. However, Emma, what she has to do is she has to eat food. If she has to throw up to shrink and stuff, and she has to eat food to get big again. It's such a crazy, unique power. I'm like, whoa, what WTF? Whoa. And then we have Kate, who can, I guess, erase people's memories and then re-give them their memories, so that's her power. And then we have Jordan, who's a transgender swap character. So some people might not be into that thing, and her character, that's just her power. I believe that's just her power. I kept watching the show going, does she actually have an actual power, or is her power just switching between guy and girl? I think it is. And I actually quite found it interesting that how the actors came and went there. So I quite like that. Yeah, the actors did a great job in their roles. There was just great mature moments that I loved in this show. And I don't mean that let me explain for a minute. So I love Rick and Morty for the mature, absurd, wacky elements. And this is not every adult mature show has moments exactly like that. But what this does for me, and similar to The Boys, but I never really was all into The Boys. But this brings me, and I think it's kind of relatable to the teen college element, how it's relatable to college life, where I'm at right now. And I think that's where The Boys doesn't, I don't hate The Boys. Don't take this the wrong way at all. I don't hate The Boys. But I think that's what this show really brings to me, gravitates to me on a higher level, is because of the element I'm in right now, and which I'll probably not relate with my whole life, but appreciate with the show my whole life, because I'm in this setting right now. And I don't know, I just quite liked it. So, and you might feel differently. I would like to hear that. If you would be so kind to let me know. But this show is great. And I actually, just total side note, I actually have a friend here in this semester who actually checked The Boys out, or not The Boys, Gen V out, because I recommended it, and she's like, and I said, have you seen The Boys? I don't remember how this conversation came up. I was just saying hey, I watched Gen V, have you heard of it? And she's like, and then later she's like, hey, I watched all the episodes. Are they out yet? And then the finale was like, no, there's one more episode. And I was like, man, it's good job that you watched it. Like, great. So I like recommending stuff to people. I'm glad that they watch it. You know, stuff like that. So yeah. So the world. Another thing I want to mention is that the world. Like I said, I'm not a fan of The Boys. Why did I just say that? I'm a mixed fan of The Boys, but this world that they have, you know it's there. Like, as soon as the graphic stuff hits, and as soon as the material hits, like, you're like, man, this is the world. I understand where I am. And, so yeah, I love it. And then obviously there's cameos, like, you know the world filled around. The first time you see, the first cameo is in, I don't remember what episode it is. I think it's like episode 5 or 6 or 7. I don't know, it's random. I'm actually going to look it up right here, right now. It's that one, I believe it is. It has to be episode 6. So it's episode 6 when they're inside Kate's mind. They go inside Kate's mind. I don't remember. I know I just watched the series, but I don't exactly remember what the whole storyline was or the exact plot was. I think she was unconscious, and I think the powers made all the other characters go, all the other students go in her mind, and they see Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy. They see Soldier Boy in her mind as Kate's imaginary girlfriend or imaginary boyfriend. She was in love with him. So yeah, that was crazy. And then at the very end, we see Homelander in a very pardon my French, he's such a dick move. He pulled a dick move. He pulled the laser eyes on Marie, and it was crazy. Like, I didn't expect the ending. And then they wake up and they realize they're in a doorless hospital room or some sort. And I don't know what was going on, but the ending was crazy. And then we see Butcher at the very end saying, I won't repeat the line because I don't want to get canceled here on YouTube, because I don't want to repeat that. I don't want to repeat that stuff. But you can watch it. Look it up. But I love seeing this. And let me reiterate. Or I shouldn't say reiterate. But people on YouTube go, oh, so this show had this cameo and this cameo. I don't need shows to be cameo filled. Like, that doesn't make a show better or worse. It just, to me, seeing things like, oh, you recognize, okay, this is in this universe. Like, you know it's the universe, because you know it's the world. And another thing is, then you know, or if it works in a story, and it worked for the story, worked for the narrative. And then, depending on the way they ended the series, which was a crazy, bonkers ending, they can take that and use it for Season 2, if there is one. I would like to see a Season 2 because I really enjoyed the show a lot. I guess Season 4 of The Boys is coming out 2024, summer of 2024. That's the rumor. And again, I don't know if I'm into that. Because I binge watched all 3 seasons. Like, I don't know. I'll have to wait and see. But what I can tell you guys is that I give this show a double thumbs up. Where I'm sitting, I don't want to be, like, highly positive. I'm not going to say 10 out of 10. I don't know. I feel like an 8 out of 10 is reasonable. Because, just because how much I'm a Boys fan, I feel like 8 out of 10 for me for this show is fine. And if we get a Season 2, maybe I'll bump it up even more. So, who knows? But that's where I'm sitting. And I don't know. Do you guys agree? Did you guys watch it? If you did, I'd like to know what your thoughts are. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't. Maybe you didn't watch it at all. And that's totally fine. Again, this is a mature show. I don't expect everybody... When I make my Rick and Morty reviews, I don't expect everybody to have seen it. And not everybody likes it. But anyway, this is another mature show, so maybe you haven't seen it. Maybe it's not age appropriate for you. And if it is, I would like to hear your thoughts and stuff down in the below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me over at Instagram at Boba Fett Jedi Master, and stick up to date on all the fun stuff going here on campus. I have not made a bunch of videos, but I am trying to get back in the swing of things. With got reviews, got Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol is another flipping show that's out right now. Like, oh god, Doom Patrol ends next week, and then Loki ends next week. And then, well, Rick and Morty's not for another month, but I am so pumped to be making this content for you. And then, Well, and I shouldn't say and then, but stay tuned because me and my friend have been talking about making a podcast together, making vlogs together, so I cannot wait for more content here on the channel. Wait to like, subscribe, follow me, and as like, subscribe, follow me at Boba Fett and Giant Master on Instagram. As always, don't to keep calm, play like go, watch stuff. Peace out, everyone. Bye.